Just like last year, I got an email with an invitation to come and ride Honda motorcycles with no strings attached. Last year I did a test ride with a Rebel 1100 cc's, and it was really fun experiencing riding a bike that was totally different than mine. I'll put a link on the screen as well if you want to go watch that. This year though, there was also a Saturday option, which wasn't the case last year, so I asked a few of my riding buddies to come and join me for these test rides. This was a lot of fun because we could share our thoughts during the ride, but this also resulted in having less usable footage for the channel because I was always talking Flemish. So that's why I'm doing these voiceovers. I hope it's just as good as me talking in the video. This year I decided to test ride the Africa Twin dual clutch transmission and the Transalp 750. I also got a bonus test ride with the CB650R, which again was a completely new experience, but I'll leave that for another video. So the Transalp, kind of a legendary bike, has got some history. The first one, this one, was built in 1986. That was the first model, the XL650, with the V standing for the V-twin engine. This is all footage from the YouTuber Pedro Mota, who traveled the world with the Transalp, the first one. I think his was from 1992, something like that. Definitely check him out because he's got an awesome channel with a lot of footage. The next model from 2000 was the XL650V, and then the next one was the XL750V in 2008. And now in 2023 they have come out with the XL750, which is the first parallel twin engine in the Transalp. I looked up the reason for that, and apparently it's just less moving parts, which makes it a bit more cheap for the consumer. This first one, the gray one, is the A2 configuration, not mechanical, just the software. The limit for the 35 kilowatts. The one with the original color scheme, that one had no limit on it. But anyways, let's just get on the bike and ride it for a bit. Here you saw me accelerate from 58 kilometers an hour to 84 or something like that, with the A2 limit, and it's got plenty of power. So if you have an A2 license and you're worried about the bike not having enough power, that will be no issue with this one. Kapjes optrekken, even voorbij. Oké. Mijn is laag. Hier is keihard uit, what the fuck. Honestly, there wasn't really a big difference between the A2 license configuration and this one. So if you have an A2 license and you have this bike, you're basically on a full license one. So now the big question remains, will I upgrade from the CP500X to a Transalp? The answer is, I wish I could say yes. If I would upgrade from the 500cc to the 750, it would be the Transalp, but as much as I love the Transalp and everything I know it can do, I just can't get over the looks of this bike. I know it's very personal, but I just can't buy something that I don't enjoy looking at. And I know some people would say that it's got a lot of elements from the CB500X, and you would be correct. But for me, it's just the little things. The CB500X has a way more aesthetic, modern look, and with the Transalp, they just went for the plain classic look, which is just not for me. To me, it just doesn't look in proportion. Like the windscreen and the dash are way too small, and in general, it just looks a little bit like a plastic motorcycle to me. If you would compare this to like an African Twin, that one looks so robust and there's so much elements to it that makes it so beautiful. And this just doesn't. Maybe if they would bring out a more modern version in a couple of years, that would suit me more, but I doubt they would do something like that because the bike has just come out and they chose to go back to basic with it, so it is what it is. Maybe I will get over myself and just buy it anyways in a couple of years, you never know. And again, this is very personal. I know some people buy this bike exactly because it looks like this, and I also appreciate Honda for like sticking to its roots. It's all very cool, just not for me. So to summarize, this bike is exactly what I'm looking for. It's got plenty of power for on the highway. It's got many aftermarket products for making it very functional and doing big trips on it. It's very maneuverable and very comfortable. In the end, the reason I would not buy it is just very personal. So feel free to disagree in the comments and I'll leave you here. Stay bright and upright.